In this video, you will learn how to derive some functions using the quotient rule. Let's say we're given this function x cubed minus 1 over x squared. Again, let's recall the quotient rule. The mnemonic low d high minus high d low over low squared. So this means that we multiply the denominator, low denominator, times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator divided by the square of the denominator. So in this case, x cubed minus 1 is our numerator and x squared is the denominator. Now let's get the derivative of x cubed minus 1 over x squared with respect to x. And now we can apply the quotient rule. So this is low x squared times the derivative of the numerator, which is x cubed minus 1 with respect to x minus the numerator x cubed minus 1 times the derivative of the denominator, which is x squared all over the square of the denominator. And now we simplify this, so we have x squared times the derivative of x cubed minus 1. Derivative of x cubed is just 3x squared minus derivative of 1 is 0, so that is minus 0, minus x cubed minus 1 times derivative of x squared, so that is just 2x to the power of 1, because 2 minus 1 is just 1, so that is just 2x over x squared squared. Oh, this should be squared, sorry, this one should be squared. Why did I put 4 there? So this is x squared squared is x to the 4th. Then we further simplify the numerator. Okay, let's just delete this. So the numerator would become, okay, x squared times 3x squared. So this is just 3x to the 4th minus, okay, so you won't be confused, 2x times x cubed minus 1. So we distribute 2x to the expression x cubed minus 1. So 2x times x cubed, that is 2x to the 4th. Okay. Minus 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x over x to the 4th. Okay, so we have 3x to the 4th minus 2x to the 4th minus 2x. Alright, so let's delete this. Now we have, okay, 3x to the 4th minus 2x to the 4th plus 2x. So we just distribute the negative sign to 2x to the 4th minus 2x over x to the 4th. Then we group like terms. So 3x to the 4th and negative 2x to the 4th are alike. So we can just subtract their coefficients, which are 3 and 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So that is just x to the 4th plus 2x over x to the 4th. Then we can further simplify the numerator because it has a common factor, which is x, so we can factor out x. So this would become x times x cubed plus 2 over x to the 4th. Then x here cancels out, so we will only be left with x cubed in the bottom or denominator. Then this would become x cubed plus 2 over x cubed. And if we're going to separate them, this would become x cubed over x cubed plus 2 over x cubed, or simply just 1 plus 2 over x cubed. So this is our final answer. Therefore, the derivative of x cubed minus 1 over x squared is just equal to 1 plus 2 over x cubed. Now let's solve another problem. How about we're given this function, x minus 3 over 5x plus 2. Alright, our numerator here is x minus 3 and our denominator is 5x plus 2. Again, we can apply the quotient rule. Let's recall the mnemonic: low d high minus high d low over low squared. So that means the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator over the square of the denominator. Alright, so let's apply that. We get the derivative of x minus 3 over 5x plus 2 with respect to x. So that is low, the denominator, which is 5x plus 2, times the derivative of the numerator with respect to x minus the numerator, x minus 3, times the derivative of the denominator, which is 5x plus 2, with respect to x, all over the square of the denominator, which is 5x plus 2. Then we simplify this. We have 5x plus 2 times the derivative of x minus 3. Derivative of x is 1 minus derivative of 3 is 0. Then minus x minus 3 times the derivative of 5x plus 2. Derivative of 5x is 5 plus the derivative of 2, which is a constant, so that is 0, all over 5x plus 2 squared. Okay, and then let's further simplify this. Okay, so we have 5x plus 2 times 1, so that is just 5x plus 2 minus x minus 3 times 5. So we multiply 5 or distribute 5 to x minus 3. So 5 times x is 5x minus 5 times 3 is 15 over 5x plus 2 squared. Then we further simplify this. We have 5x plus 2 minus 5x minus 15. We distribute the negative sign, so this would become minus 5x plus 15 over 5x plus 2 squared. And then we group like terms. 5x here cancels out. 5x minus 5x is 0. Then 2 groups with 15. So that would be 2 plus 15, which is 17. So this is just 17 over 5x plus 2 squared. Therefore, okay, the derivative of x minus 3 over 5x plus 2 is just equal to 17 over 5x plus 2 squared. So this is our final answer. Now let's solve another one. Now what if we're given this function x minus 4 over the cube root of... What if we're given this function x minus 4 over the cube root of x? Now again, to derive this function using the quotient rule, let's recall the rule or the mnemonic: low d high minus high d low over low squared, which means that we multiply the denominator by the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator divided by the square of the denominator. Now let's apply that to derive the given function. So you were given here x minus 4 over cube root of x. Actually, we can directly derive this, but it will be confusing and it will be complex or complicated. So let's just separate this function. We can write this as x over cube root of x minus 4 over cube root of x. Then we get the derivative of each of the functions. So we get the derivative of x over cube root of x with respect to x, and then minus that of the derivative of 4 over cube root of x with respect to x. Now let's simplify everything first before deriving, so it would be easier to derive each one of them. So x over cube root of x, we can write this as x over x to the 1/3, because cube root of x can be written as x to the 1/3. And notice here that they have the same basis, and using the law of exponents, we just have to divide. We copy the base and then we subtract, not divide. We subtract the exponent. So this would be the exponent of the numerator, which is 1, minus the exponent of the denominator, which is 1/3. So this would become x to 1 minus 1/3 is 3 divided by 1 is 3 times 1 is 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is x to the 2/3. All right. Okay, now we can get the derivative of x to the 2/3, as this is just equal to x to the 2/3. All right. So let me delete this first. Okay. So we get the derivative of x to the 2/3 with respect to x. So this is just equal to 2/3 times x to the 2/3 minus 1, which is just equal to 2/3 times x. 2/3 minus 1 is just 3. Okay, 2 minus 3 divided by 1 is 3 times 1 is -3. So 2 minus 3 is -1. So this is x to the -1/3. So now we have the derivative of this part. Okay. So let me just write that here, so we won't forget that. So derivative of x to the 2/3 with respect to x is just equal to 2/3 x to the -1/3. So that would be easier to remember. And now we need to get the derivative of the other function. The other one is 4 over cube root of x. So derivative of 4 over cube root of x with respect to x, or we can just simply write 4 over cube root of x as 4 over x to the 1/3. So this is the derivative of 4 over x to the 1/3 with respect to x. Actually, we can write 4 over x to 4 over x to the 1/3. We can write this as 4 times x to the -1/3. Then we use the constant and power rule to derive it. Or we can use the quotient rule, 4 over x to the 1/3. Okay, which one is easier for you or more convenient for you? So let's just derive it this way. We write 4 over x to the 1/3 as 4 times x to the negative 1/3, so it'll be easier. So we'll just use power rule. Okay. So this is the derivative of 4x to the negative 1/3 with respect to x. Then, okay, we get the derivative of that. 4 derivative of x to the negative 1/3 is just negative 1/3 times x to the negative 1/3 minus 1. Okay, so this is just equal to 4 or negative 4 over 3 times x to the negative 1/3 minus 1. So negative 1/3 to negative 1/3 minus 1 is just negative 4 over 3. So now we already have the derivative of the other function. Now we can subtract them, right? So now the derivative of x over cube root of x with respect to x minus the derivative of 4 over cube root of x with respect to x is just this one, 2/3 x to the negative 1/3 minus negative 4/3 x to the negative 4/3. Now we can simplify this as 2/3 x to the negative 1/3 plus 4/3 x to the negative 4 over 3. And now we can further simplify this. Okay, we can write x to the negative 1/3 as 1 over x to the 1/3. So this would become 2 over 3 times x to the 1/3 plus 4 over 3. We can write x to the negative 4/3 as 1 over x to the 4/3. Then we can simplify this further. This would become 2 over 3 cube root of x. We can write back x to the 1/3 to cube root of x plus 4 over 3 times cube root of x to the 4th. And cube root of x to the 4th is just x cube root of x. So we can write this as 2 over 3 cube root of x plus 4 over 3x cube root of x. Then we can further simplify by adding them, and we get the LCD. Right, we get the LCD. LCD is 3x cube root of x. Now 3x cube root of x divided by 3 cube root of x is just x times the numerator, which is 2, then plus 4. Then we can further simplify. So this would become 2x plus 4 over 3x cube root of x, or we can write this, we can simplify the numerator. We factor out 2, so this is just 2 times x plus 2 over 3x cube root of x, or you can just simply leave it as it is. So therefore this is our final answer. So the derivative of x minus 4 over the cube root of x is just equal to 2 times x plus 2 over 3x cube root of x.